Did you put snacks in?
Yeah. You guys want to get out here and take some?
Hit it hard.
We're here. You guys look like you're literally about to play basketball.
So, Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull really want to stay with the Fever next year. It's pretty clear. I mean, they even caddied for Caitlin Clark at a golf thing. But what's the deal? Why are they being so coy? Turns out, it all comes down to the CBA talks. Now, have you ever seen teammates just click off the court, like you know they're going to be good together on the court? Okay, the Fever's front office knows they've got to keep Sophie and Lexi around. It's not just about being Caitlin's buddies. That golf thing was cool, but it showed they all vibe together, and that's what you want, right? Teammates who actually like each other, even when they're not playing.
This is making me nervous.
Cunningham! Yeah, guys, come on! Let's go! Oh, is that bad?
But let's be real, it's not just a cute photo op, okay? Sophie and Lexi can both play. Lex has that energy, that hustle you can't teach. She can shoot, she moves well, and she's that glue player every team needs. Sophie's similar, but she's a knockdown shooter from deep, and she can handle the ball a little too. They're not Aaliyah Boston or Kelsey Mitchell, but they're key pieces, and the fact that they get along with Caitlin? That's a bonus. Good chemistry matters. When players actually like each other, it shows up on the court.
Is that bad? No, good.
Oh no, oh no.
You got it, girl.
Happy Gilmore.
Man down! Man down! He's down! I'm so sure. Lexi Hull!
Show Caitlin how it's done.
It's important.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to let that thing don't hit anyone, Lexi. I'll try not to. Thank you. And don't break my driver. Now.
The Fever front office realizes the caddy connection belongs back in Indianapolis next season. You know, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance around Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull serving as Caitlin Clark's caddies during that golf event. It shows you the rapport, the chemistry, not to mention that those two can play, right? Lexi Hull has that energy you just can't teach, can shoot the ball, moves without the ball, a glue type of player. Same thing with
Now, what's also important is that Sophie and Lexi know how much playing with Caitlin helps them. When you play next to a superstar, everyone gets a boost. Sophie especially has gotten more attention since Caitlin came to town. She's smart, she knows it's good to be in Indy. Sophie gets asked about her future all the time, and she keeps saying the same thing. At the golf event, she said, Caitlin elevates everyone. She's a generational player. Then she added that it all depends on the CBA. That's her go-to answer right now. She's putting it on whether there's going to be a season at all, which makes sense, because those CBA talks are complicated. Nobody knows how they'll end up. Let's go.
how much their association with Caitlin Clark helps them as well. So, assuming all things get worked out the way one could see things getting worked out based on the past, both Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull will be back.
I think with Sophie, in a sense, it's just in different ways. Sophie did another interview where she said the team was missing health last season, and her answer was simply health. If the team had been healthy, she thinks they would have won the championship, which is probably true. The Fever were dealing with injuries all season, and it clearly affected their performance. When everyone was healthy and playing well, they looked like legitimate contenders. When asked directly about the likelihood of being back with the Fever next year, Sophie said, "Everyone's keeping in touch. But there's not much to talk about until there's a CBA." That could read as awkward, but really she's just being practical. Until the CBA gets figured out, teams can't make official moves or sign contracts, so there's literally nothing to discuss regarding her contract situation. Sophie also mentioned that the last CBA meeting was about 2 weeks ago. And she's not exactly sure where things stand, but the players are staying strong for what they want, which suggests the negotiations are still ongoing and potentially contentious. The players want better pay, better conditions, better everything. The league obviously has budget constraints and other concerns. Finding middle ground takes time. She was even asked about Project B, that new league that's been making headlines. Sophie said, "If people are going to pay you multi-million-dollar deals, why wouldn't you consider it?" Which is a reasonable position. Players have short careers, and they need to maximize their earnings while they can. If another league offers more money, it's hard to blame anyone for at least listening to the pitch. But here's the thing. Project B seems to be targeting players closer to the end of their careers, players who want to get paid before they retire. It's fighting back against the Saudi-backed leagues that have been poaching talent. Caitlin Clark joining Project B would be absolutely stunning given her current financial situation and where she is in her career. She doesn't need Project B. She's already making good money through endorsements, and her WNBA contract will only get better as she progresses. Then there's Unrivaled, which seems to be targeting younger players on the rise. Players coming out of college who want additional competition. That league has already signed several big names and seems to have real momentum. But again, all of this is happening while the CBA negotiations are ongoing, which complicates everything. The fact that some players in executive roles are also playing for or affiliated with these other leagues makes the CBA process even messier. There are conflicts of interest everywhere. Everyone's trying to maximize their own situation while also negotiating for the collective good of all WNBA players. It's complicated. Look, don't read too much into Sophie talking about Project B. She's not saying she's leaving the WNBA or the Fever. She's just saying she understands why players would explore other options, and she's smart enough not to commit to anything until the CBA is done. Good move, Sophie. Don't jump until you know all your options. Now, things have been quiet on the CBA front lately, which is probably a good sign. Usually, when both sides are yelling in the media, it's a bad sign. Quiet means they're actually talking and making progress. Plus, the draft lottery is coming up and the league is acting like it's business as usual. So unless something crazy happens, like a lockout or the CBA blowing up rosters, Sophie and Lexi are coming back. Lexi's a restricted free agent, so the Fever can match any offer she gets. Unless someone offers her insane money, she's staying. And Sophie has gotten better playing with Caitlin. Her profile is up, and Indy is a good spot for her. She's not dumb. She knows it's good to be on a team that's rising with the best young player in the league. And let's be real, Caitlin is the franchise. She's why people show up. The Fever's social media team knows it. They posted photos of Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi from the golf event, basically saying, these three belong together. Sophie and Lexi even showed up in Fever gear to support Caitlin. They know she's the star, and they're cool with it. And that's huge for building a team. Not everyone can be the star. Most players need to be comfortable being role players. The Fever want good character teammates. The one signing that didn't work out was Damaris Dantas, but even the hardship players they brought in seemed to fit the culture. Ariel Powers meshed really well with the team when she was there, but Sophie and Lexi aren't just good teammates, they bring real on-court value. They can both shoot, which is huge next to Caitlin. They know how to move off the ball. You could even run a small, super fast lineup with Caitlin, Sophie, Lexi, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston. Wouldn't work for the whole game, but for stretches it would be tough to defend, with Caitlin creating and everyone else spacing the floor, and that chemistry? It matters. They've spent time together. They get each other. You can't build that overnight. The golf event was smart. It kept them in the news, showed they're tight, and kept fans interested during the off-season. People showed up just to watch Caitlin play golf. That says something. Fans are invested. They want to see this team healthy and running it back next season. Sophie and Lexi know it's good for their careers to be part of this. They get to play with a superstar, get national TV time, compete for titles, and get endorsement opportunities. The Fever front office knows all of this too. They're not going to mess it up over a contract. They know what they have. They know